Righto, chaps, how the devil. It's time once again for your favourite time of the week. Everybody knows that by now. It's the BBC Spews. Huzzah! What's the date? It's Sunday, the 7th of November. Remember, the 7th of November. The bootneck that swears a lot. I know of no reason, no possible reason, why 1 billion people murdered by communism should ever be forgot. Right, let's do some news, shall we? First of all, I have to apologise for the massive border at the top of the screen. I guess the BBC started aggressively advertising in the United States. I paid for my licence fee. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I never paid for my licence fee. My mum and dad did when I was a bairn, but I've never paid for my licence fee because I'm not an arsehole. Not only did I not watch television all of the time I lived in my own house in the UK, so that was about 12 years or something, I would have rather nailed my scrotum to the kitchen table than pay the BBC for a licence fee. I'm more than happy to not watch TV. More than happy to do it. I would eat pube sandwiches and rainwater and nothing else for the next 50 years rather than give the BBC a single penny. It's more immoral than sending Ian Huntley a Christmas card. Don't do it, right? Let's get on with the show. First things first, John Majors started whinging. Who? Oh yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares, John. You're about as popular as a bastard at a family reunion. You are the proverbial fart in a spacesuit. This horrible, self-serving scumbag was the Prime Minister from 1990 to 97, if you care. If you care. Why are you telling me? Why don't you just put random stranger from 1990s says things? That's how relevant it is. It's less relevant than what I had for breakfast. Cocoa Pops. Weird American ones with that chocolate that tastes a bit like soap. He said the government's handling of the Owen Paterson case is shameful and wrong and unconservative. Well, hey, John, to be fair, they're about as conservative as Owen Jones. What's conservative about the Conservative Party? Don't answer that. It's nothing. It was a rhetorical question. The government tried to block the suspension of Mr. Patterson with broken lobbying rules, but then reversed its decision. Yeah, I mean, in this individual case, it seems like they could possibly give you a good reason why it was a bit ridiculous, because apparently, if this was settled by a court, he really hadn't done much wrong. But A, nobody wants to defend him because he's a politician, fair enough, and B, he's just another rich bastard profiting off his position. So yeah, he was always going to get shagged, wasn't he? Even if he wasn't particularly immoral in this case, the general public don't care because we've been so sorely led for the last 50 years that we've got no time for it. So it almost is a bit unfair. But basically, right or wrong, if you're an MP, the great British public are desperate to fling you in the sea. So maybe it wasn't the end of the world, but who cares? You're not going to get much sympathy, are you? And the Tories, just as usual, flipped and flopped because they are spineless and weak, and the point I've made many times, they are career political animals, just like Joe Biden. They don't believe in anything, they don't have any principles, they don't have any morals. Boris Johnson will believe anything if he thinks it's politically expedient. And that is what is sorely missing from world politics today. I don't even care if you disagree with me. I want conviction. I want a conviction politician who will say something is wrong when in his heart of hearts he knows it. I am sick to the back teeth of scumbags like Keir Starmer, Boris Johnson. I almost prefer full-on, clueless, shit-for-brains, educational skills of a 13-year-old communists like Jeremy Corbyn. Because that's what they are, Jeremy Corbyn and AOC. It's like they learned some stuff when they were about 14, thought it was cool as fuck, and never progressed past it. They've never progressed past, it's like teenage, youthful activism. They've just stayed there. So they know less than nothing. But at least Jeremy Corbyn is a convicted idiot. He does believe the nonsense he spouts. That is almost preferable to Boris Johnson, Joe Biden, Keir Starmer, almost. If it was any other ideology, something less harmful than an ideology that's murdered fucking countless numbers of people, it would be preferable. But as it stands, it's like a choice. It's like a choice between a shit sandwich and a boot in the bollocks. So they're just weak, spineless creatures. Like a leaf in the wind, they will say anything. The government has apologised. Of course they have. Of course they have. That's just linked to the last statement. Of course they've apologised. They're weak and pathetic. No backbone at all. I believe I coined the term, and I've now seen it on Twitter plenty of times. The albino jellyfish. Mr. Johnson, the saggy albino jellyfish. Mr. Patterson then resigned as MP and said all he wanted was life outside the cruel world of politics. That's a bit weird for a bloke who, being a Conservative MP, is probably into dressing up in leathers and having an underage Eastern European prostitute wank him off with a barbed wire glove on. That's a bit weird. That he thinks politics is too cruel for him. But hey, now he's out of politics. I don't care about his sexual proclivities. Sir John, no. We'll just call him John Boy. I'm not putting an S in front of that shithead's name. I mean, even officers in the military I didn't like calling Sir, but at least they earned the fucking beret. Johnny Boy is just a twat. So John Boy's not happy. He said there's a general whiff of we are the masters now. Oh yeah, John Boy wasn't just like that when he was in charge. And he stuck the knife in Thatcher's back, so fuck him. So like, no, you're not a Conservative, John. You're a self-serving shitbag, and you would crawl over broken glass to suck Chairman Mao's cock if you thought it would do you good. Again, 50 years we've had this. Not a conviction politician. Self-serving shitbag. See you later, John Boy. Disappear back into your hole, crawl back into your box, and nail the lid shut. We don't care what you have to say, and we didn't really care when you were the bastard Prime Minister, because you are the eternal grey man. You have the charisma of a used sock, and nobody cares what you have to say. Bye-bye. Bye for now. Biden infrastructure bill is a monumental step forward. Well, Joey got twatted, is the short version for this story. It's not a monumental step forward, because it was a win. Again, as I've said many times, we're doing better in the States than you guys are in Britain, and that's quite astounding, because you've got a Conservative government, and we've got the left-wing alternative to the Republicans. But at least we have Conservatives waiting in the wings. In the UK, your choice is left-wing, far left, full-blown SNP, madman, Chairman Mao's left testicle, sturgeon. So I don't even know what you're going to do in Britain. You're in the shit. But at least here, this is another loss. It sounds bad. Oh my God, Biden and AOC have got the whip hand. But it's not, because he wanted to pass a much larger infrastructure bill than this, and it got shot down in flames. Because unlike the UK, there's actual Conservatives in the United States. They shaved it, and the $1 trillion infrastructure bill is predominantly infrastructure. AOC and the like wanted to tack about an extra $3 billion in bastard free money for anybody with an arsehole legislation. But it's gone. That's been deep-sixed because there are some Conservatives in the United States. It obviously includes $550 billion of new federal expenditure in highways, roads, bridges, not paying for Akbar to set up a kebab shop in Leeds. This is actual infrastructure that we need. Also, clean drinking water, high-speed internet and electric vehicle charging points. Not the best, but yeah, it's a far cry from what the lefties wanted. And then he's just selling it with his typical spin. We took a monumental step forward. I didn't get embarrassed because half my own party thought it was bollocks. That's what that sentence is basically saying. And yeah, 19 Republicans joined with Democrats to approve the legislation in an evenly split Senate. Yeah, they got, as always, the American Conservatives, just like they did under Obama, by digging their heels in, they managed to get something out of it. If it was Boris Johnson, he'd have just rolled over, parted his cheeks, and got rogered with a prize-winning leak by the bloke who's not even in power. For some reason in the UK, they pander to the left all the time. And I have no idea why. Well, I do have an idea why. It's because the entirety of the MSM, Silicon Valley, the EU, the powers that be, the oligarchs, MI5, MI6, the civil service, every single aspect of British life is ruled by overbearing leftists that don't care about public opinion. So they don't care. You're getting it whether you like it or not. Eat your medicine and swallow the lot, you ungrateful fucking peons. That's British politics in a nutshell. Here, I'll take that. Not ideal, but we aren't the ones with the president we like in the White House, are we? 3 seriously injured in a knife attack on train in Germany. Who could have done it? Was it a ginger man from Denmark? Was it a pasty Scottish chap showing his outrage at the Germans' continual refusal to wear a skirt and for some reason play an instrument that is essentially a fucking cow's bladder full of air? No, that's not who it was. I don't want to say who it was, but you can read it yourselves. Look, there you go. That's where he might have been a regular patron at Alan's world famous snack bar. Maybe. The motive for the attack is unclear. Why would he do such a thing? It's a mystery to me. Maybe he got a cold, soggy bratwurst and it annoyed him so much he wanted to stab a German woman in the eye. Maybe that was it. Probably got nothing to do with, I don't know, fucking 30 years of unending terror from the adherents of one very specific Bronze Age ideology. Nope, nothing to do with that. He was very pissed about the state of his breakfast. And obviously Bill said psychological problems. yeah, psychological problems. Like believing in fucking ancient desert fables written by an illiterate epileptic goat herder. Yeah, I think that's a psychological problem as well, frankly. Ever since the invention of the Hubble bastard telescope. But I'm not allowed to talk about it too much because Susan doesn't like it. So let's not go, what's this? The attack comes months after Somalia. Oh, holy shitballs. It just keeps... Let's not read that. In fact, you were never here. None of this ever happened. Let's talk about a man found naked inside a wall of New York State Theatre. YouTube will let me do that. They don't mind you talking about trifling pleasantries of almost no consequence to anyone. That's probably why this was 2 stories above on the hierarchy of the BBC. Yeah, all the terrorist stuff, that's under the doormat with the spare key. Man found naked inside a wall. Whoa, let's get that up there. The people need to know. He's been rescued after being trapped inside the walls of a theatre in Syracuse, New York State. He was probably trying to get away from Rent, which was on the bastard stage. Because when I went to New York, some Japanese girls I was attempting to sleep with said, "Hey Matt, let's go and watch Rent. It's a really famous Broadway production." And I went in there and it was absolute dog shit. I thought it was going to be like Oliver Twist, 20 minutes of story and an occasional little sing-song. It was the most bizarre. It was so overtly political, like everything these activist types do. It was basically like I was being battered around the head with a rainbow flag the entirety of the time. And it was just singing. And every person in it who was gay or trans or something else was good and saintly and marvellous. And everyone who was like a normal bloke or a copper or a landlord was a fucking, like Frankenstein's monster lumbering through the corridors of his apartment, crushing skulls. It was just farcical. So he was probably trying to get away from the fucking stage. Let me out, clawing through the walls with his shattered nails. Rescuers cut to his walls and found him naked, gibbering and naked. Don't make me watch any more of this left-wing shit. Apparently will not be charged or identified. Winner. I always end on one of these ridiculous BBC fluff stories. Look at this one. Equality matters. The workers keeping their disabilities a secret. Of course they are. Because if your disability is a secret, what you're basically saying there is able-bodied people are fucking disabled, right? Again, do I need to point this out? Disabled and chronically ill people fear they'll be penalised for revealing their conditions. Has the pandemic helped? Or are biases too entrenched? Entrenched biases, always the same with the communist buzzwords. Always the same. When Grace dislocated her elbow at work, she didn't call an ambulance. Instead, she quietly went to the bathroom to pop the joint back in. Well, why the fuss? I've seen Riggs and Murtaugh. I've seen Riggs dislocate both his shoulders, escaping from a straitjacket, and then mealy smashing them back in against the captain's desk. Piece of piss. Stop dripping. Get back to work. Grace has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that causes her to experience extreme joint pain and joint instability. Of course she does. We've all got that. If it's going to involve the DSS giving us free cash for the rest of our lives, I want that. Lash me up. Lash me up. You can't tell you've got it. You might not think there's anything wrong with you. But honestly, bad things happen. And I nipped into the toilet and just popped it back into place because I'm hard as nails. And I'm definitely not making it up. No. I just had to cry because I'm rock and got back to work. And you might think I'm taking the piss, but tough titty, because this is Britain. And if I say I'm a woman, if I'm a gargantuan labourer with 4 arms like Popeye, I am. So you best believe that I can just say I've got a disability, even if it's invisible. Touché, hard-working taxpayer, haha. I work as a writer. Oh God, they've never got a proper job as well. None of them ever say I'm a scaffolder. Do they? They're always, I'm an artist, I'm a yoga teacher. Do some fucking work. An estimated 4.4 million disabled people. Have you seen the numbers for the disabled in the UK? Oh yeah, we're afraid, man. You're not afraid. You're taking the bastard piss. Let's just end with this. There are 14.1 million disabled people in the UK. Fucking hell. Like it's the interbreeding capital of the cosmos. Like there is legally enforced sister fucking in the United Kingdom. If you believe a quarter of the country are disabled, you have got a head full of fresh air. That's all I've got to say about that story. There's the numbers. You're a mental case if you believe it and you don't think it's purely about getting free money off the state. Thanks for watching. That was the BBC Spews for another week, and I remain the very, very, very angry Bootneck, constantly harangued by the winged beast of Silicon Valley herself, whose name shall not be uttered again this video. Thanks a lot. Like it and share it and all of that bollocks. Please have a look in the description if you want to see the sources. Who does? You can trust me. I'm as honest as the day is long. Or get me a pint. Thanks for watching. See you very soon. Cheers.